Hey there, welcome back to the DTC Concepts YouTube channel. I am Dan, as always, bringing you design, renovation, real estate development tips and tricks. If you're liking it, give me a like, maybe a subscribe. It helps us bring you more content. Today, I'm going to get into the top renovation mistakes you want to avoid. Being somebody who has been flipping and remodeling properties for 13, 14 years now, I have seen my fair share of things. On every project, I learn something new. Unfortunately, sometimes you just can't avoid to make a mistake, but I am here to help you avoid some of the biggies. So let's get started. Number one. Big mistake if you do not have a clear plan. This is super important. You want to take enough time in the prep planning stage of your remodel to make sure all your T's are crossed and all your I's are dotted. You want to know what things are going to cost as best you can. You want to know what you want to accomplish, because if you don't, things can sort of spiral and just continue to go larger. A lot of the times I do recommend people kind of allocate 70%, 80% to the project, have that 20 to 30% in the bank to get ready for things that you might change or unexpected costs. There is always something. Never, ever, ever, ever have I done a renovation for myself or anyone else where it's coming exactly where I thought it was going to come in. It's just not possible. So have that plan. Try to keep those guardrails up and keep on track so you don't just end up spending a ton of money and not really accomplishing what you originally wanted to. Next on the list, skimping on quality. This is hard because when you are in a renovation, if you are remodeling your kitchen, your bathroom, something big like that, there's a lot going on behind the walls that might need to be done. Plumbing might need to be upgraded, shifted, moved. There's framing costs involved, drywall costs involved, all these things that aren't pretty, but are non-negotiables. You have to do them. So I see a lot of the times then it'll get to the point of material choice. And this is a place where you can skimp. And you know, I'm not here to spend as much money as humanly possible, but I am here to tell you that sometimes saving a little bit on something's going to end up costing you more in the long run. You buy cheap counter material, it's going to chip. You buy cheap plumbing fixtures, they're going to corrode. And some stuff's harder to replace down the road. You know, if you put in countertops with a backsplash that goes up, maybe it leads into cabinetry, maybe that cabinetry comes to the counter. Now, if that counter starts to get beat up and you want to replace it, you're removing cabinetry, you're busting up the drywall, then you're taking off the counter, possibly hurting the cabinetry below. It's just, you want to do it right. So pace yourself, focus on quality materials, save money on things that are easily replaceable in the future and not going to cost you an arm and a leg to then change. Next up, number three, not focusing on safety. And this kind of goes out to safety for yourself and also people that you hire that are going to come in. You want licensed and insured people. You want people who know what they're doing. When you're on a job site, don't walk in flip-flops. Like, wear proper shoes, wear something on your head. Know that it can be dangerous. There's a lot going on and you could step on a nail, something could fall and hit you, you could walk into something. So just be safe, make sure you're hiring people that are safe, make sure you're hiring people that are licensed and insured. In the long run, it might cost you a bit more money, but it's gonna save you a ton of headaches. I know you're gonna have this idea in your head of what you want, but if you don't focus on what you actually need, it could be horrible for your home. So when you're remodeling your kitchen, you might have in your mind this certain layout that you want, or you've always wanted the island because you've seen it 1,000 times on HGTV and you think it's going to be the thing that fixes all of your problems in the kitchen, but it completely cuts off flow, or it just does not work, it cramps the space. Think about what's best for the space, think about flow, think about the way you move throughout the home and how you want to entertain in there. You know, I like different spaces for different things. I know we've kind of coming out of this just pure open concept, which is fantastic because I'm exhausted with walking into, 3,000 square foot houses where half of it is one room. I think you need to make sure you're leading people where you want them to go. They have sitting areas, there's designated areas to cook. Just focus on the way you flow and operate rather than just in what you think you want. It's what's best for the house is what will be best for you. All right, next. This one's super important. Don't just follow trends. I think we live in this immediate culture. We see things constantly. We see trends. They come and go so fast. There's the fast fashion term, and I think we've got, fast home design now where it's just cheap, 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 get the look, you can change it later. Think about what you really want. Stuff that is timeless, truly timeless. It's going to be a mixture. It's not just one trend. Think about how something makes you feel. That's always how I want to design a space is what is the feeling you want when you walk into this room? Think about that. Don't just focus on, well, I've been looking at this and this is really in right now and I see more of this and this and this and this, because what's gonna happen is the same thing we saw, white everything, white walls, white walls, white walls. Now we're seeing this shift into the sad beige homes or sad gray, whatever it is. All of it's fine as long as you're doing the thing you want to do. And if you pepper in a trend here or there, nothing wrong with that. Just don't make your home only a trend. All right, next up. This one is very important. I personally could not stress this more. Do not hire a bad contractor. If somebody comes in so much cheaper than everybody else, there is a reason. So get your referrals, talk to people who have worked with them, or hire a full firm to come out like ourselves to handle it, because we have worked with the same people forever and a day, and then things are gonna get done right, they will get finished, they will come back. This is very important. A bad GC or subcontractor can make your project go from a dream to an absolute nightmare. Ooh. I think I just try to put this one on every single list. Poor lighting is a huge renovation mistake. Do not, I repeat, do not just give yourself a ton of recessed cans. This is not what you want. You do not want Swiss cheese in your home. Think about your electrical plan. Think about sconce lighting, bookcase lighting, picture lighting, all the lighting that you want to create ambiance in the space. This is going to be done during the planning phase. This is super important because once those cables are ran and the drywall is up, it's a lot harder to change it and more expensive. So plan your lighting accordingly and really focus on where you want to create mood in your space. Lastly, don't forget to think about cleanup. That can be a huge mistake. People budget out all of these things or they're getting ready to go and they forget just how much debris, dirt, crap, everything that comes throughout the course of a renovation. I mean, shit, even just cardboard boxes alone are a tremendous pain in the butt to deal with. So just have a plan, have a good cleanup crew, have a good cleaning service at the end. You will have to spend money. Dump runs are not free. So plan that, be ready for that. If you live in a home and you can do bulk pickup with your city, that's a nice option, but just budget and plan for cleanup, because if you don't, you are going to regret it. So there you have it. We've got our top renovation mistakes that you should avoid. So remember, have a clear plan, quality, safety, flow and function. Don't follow those trends too closely. Don't hire the wrong contractor. Do not forget about lighting. And finally, make sure you clean up your mess. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you found this helpful. Renovations are a huge undertaking, and anything that I can do to help your journey makes me happy. So any questions, pop them below. Please give us a like and subscribe, and we'll be back with more design and real estate development content.